Hey Run Junkies, some of you may know that I am participating in the Run the Year Challenge, which is a goal to run and or walk 2,018 miles in the year 2018. Now I am partnering with Laura from Joyful Miles, so we are sharing that load quite a bit, but it's still a lot of miles. And in order to get some of those miles in, some of the participants in this challenge are streaking. No, not like that, I don't think, and running every day. But are running streaks a good idea? Today's video is inspired by viewer Keylime, who asks this very simple question: running streaks, good or bad? It doesn't get any simpler than that. Fun fact, the longest daily running streak in recorded history ended at over 19,000 days. That's more than 52 years. I've left a link in the description below to an article about the person who did such a feat, and I am not encouraging you to try to go out and break that record. Like many things in the sport, running streaks may be a great idea for some people, but a bad idea for others. If I were to ask you a question about whether or not you'd want to start a running streak, my biggest question would be, why? If it's to motivate you to move every day because your job requires you to sit at a desk maybe all day long, then that of course is admirable. Maybe you're not currently training for a race. Maybe you're in between training plans and just need some motivation to keep moving. Starting a running streak may help you maintain fitness. So how do you start and maintain a running streak safely? Running daily doesn't necessarily mean high mileage. In fact, a lot of running streakers will run a minimum of 1 mile a day just to maintain that streak. A running streak is a great way to maintain fitness in between training plans or in your off season, as long as those daily runs fall in that super easy effort category. Once you start adding higher mileage or speed efforts into those daily runs, you might be opening yourself up to injury. Safely running every day just means keeping your heart rate and your paces low and your mileage short. With the Run the Year Challenge, for example, achieving that 2,018 miles for one person to do that alone, they need to be averaging 5.5 miles every single day. That's a little too high for my blood and for my experience and for what I really want to get out of my running journey. But some running clubs will have a short-term streak, like the Runner's World 40-Day Holiday Challenge, where you're running 1 mile every day between Thanksgiving and Christmas Day. Challenges like this seem manageable because there is an end in sight. There is a finish line of sorts. Now, what I do appreciate about the running streak and that whole concept is that it helps you develop a habit of running every single day. So when your streak ends, you know how to just get up and just go. It becomes a part of your lifestyle. However, let's consider a few downsides to the long-term running streak. First, you aren't allowing yourself any rest days. I am a big advocate of rest and recovery as a part of your training plan, not instead of training. A full day of rest, no exercise of any kind, is just as important for us physically as it is to just take that mental break. Another issue, at least for me, is that I'll get dressed and I'll go out for a mile. That's just my warm-up, so why not stay out for another mile or two? That type of overachievement, especially on a daily basis, can lead to overtraining. Another issue that I see about this type of thing is that runners will develop a sense of have to, that they feel obligated, that there is a failure on their part if they don't maintain that streak. I don't think that is the point, and I don't think that's why we should start a running streak. We shouldn't make ourselves feel guilty for missing a run on a day. When a runner goes into a streak feeling like that obligation is there and they don't fulfill that obligation and they miss a run, they feel like they've failed. I believe that going into a running streak should be motivated by the joy of the sport, the love of running. Another factor to consider is that if you are already training for a longer distance or some kind of PR on a distance, your running streak may actually get in the way of your training. If the quality of your workouts is compromised by the quantity of those workouts, you may not see the improvements you're looking for. Lastly, and probably most importantly, a running streak should not be attempted if you are recovering from injury or are prone to injury. Don't take those rest days, you're not recovering, and your risk of injury goes up. So let's look at it this way. If you are recovering from an injury, are prone to injury, if you are recovering from a long-term or a long-distance event or a longer training plan, or you're even a novice runner, I would suggest steering clear of the running streak for a while. A runner should know what their body can handle day in and day out before they decide to take on a running streak. And that determination is best made when you have gained a little bit of experience as a runner. I like to think of it this way. I would start a running streak when life is boring, when there are not a lot of stressors in my life, when I'm not training for something, when I just need something to maintain my fitness. And from my personal perspective, if you feel like you should run every day and you're beating yourself up because you're not, maybe a running streak is not for you. Ending a running streak is not failure. And there are alternatives to the running streak that might be just as good, if not better for you. A lot of GPS fitness trackers will count your steps. And if you maintain 10,000 steps a day, that's actually probably better for you than running a mile every single day. Okay, all of this being said, what do I think of running streaks? I actually think they're pretty cool. I hear stories about people who have maintained a very long-term running streak. I find that impressive, it's admirable, but I think it takes special circumstances and the right attitude and personality to maintain a running streak safely. Basically, a running streak might be a good thing, but it's entirely up to the individual and your circumstances. As a runner, only you can decide that, and maintaining a running streak is simply not worth getting sidelined by injury. So my question for you today is this: have you ever attempted, or are you currently in a running streak? Would you ever try it? Please leave thoughts and comments in the comment section down below, and as always, give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Also, leave questions in the comments because I will be going live on Thursday at noon Mountain Time. So please subscribe if you haven't already to get alerts about upcoming videos. And if you would like to know more about rest, recovery, and overtraining, check out any one of these videos around here. But that is it for me today. Thank you so much for watching. Go find your awesome. Until next time, happy running.